from Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You got to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. And welcome to our friends in Dallas who now hear us live every night at 7, following Russ Martin on Live 105.3. Great to be here. Great to be live in Dallas. We love it. Thank you for tons of email and even more phone calls. It's just great. And thanks to Russ Martin for being so supportive of what we do here. Here's, and we don't read these often on the air, except in connection with our Deadpool. And this week we're going to make our Deadpool picks, by the way. I was away. No major death yet this year, so I don't think there's any harm done by waiting until now. So, coming up maybe tomorrow, we'll do our Deadpool for the year 2004. And we'll look back on 2003 and see who won. All of us, of course, had our own list. But, as I say, we don't often read an obituary on the air, but I'm going to read part of this one because it has some very interesting quotes in it. Olivia Goldsmith, the novelist whose savagely funny debut book, The First Wives Club, became a revenge fantasy for wives tossed aside in favor of younger women, has died at age 54. And you know what she died of? You're not going to believe it. Complications following plastic surgery. Well, she took that competition with the trophy wife very seriously. Says here, Goldsmith, a successful management consultant before she took up writing, died Thursday at New York's Lenox Hill Hospital, according to her lawyer, Stephen Mintz. First Wives Club, which came out in 1992, spun a tale of three women who band together to seek revenge after their wealthy, successful husbands leave them for younger partners. The book sold millions of copies. It became a #1 film in 1996. Starring Goldie Hawn, Diane Keaton, and Bette Midler. Hawn's character, get this, here's a turn about being fair play. Hawn's character in the movie was a plastic surgery fan who in one scene pleads with her doctor for yet another procedure. Goldsmith told the Associated Press in the 1996 interview, I wrote First Wives Club in true indignation. It's not right. You choose a woman who bears your young, and then you discard her for a younger, taller, thinner, blonder model. There. That's how it works. If you want a guy who's going to stay with you wherever, marry a guy who doesn't make a lot of money and isn't likely to make a lot of money, and marry him just for love. You know what? This is the delicious sidebar to all the women who marry the lawyers and the doctors for their money. All you girls who meet guys in bars and ask us what we do for a living and what kind of car we drive, what zip code we live in, and in L.A. this is on hyper warp speed. You know, you get in there and these women start asking you all these questions. They might as well just ask you to produce a net worth statement. These women who marry guys according to what they do for a living or what their quote-unquote potential is, and then later on freak out because these guys dump them for younger models. What do you expect? You married the guy without the purest of motives. What do you expect to get? A man with a lot of potential also has the potential to trade up. Are you hearing me? Listen to that quote again, ladies, and remember it the next time you're on the prowl. A man with potential is a man who also has the potential to trade up. So if you are looking for a man who has the potential to make 6 figures or 7 figures, a man who has the potential to become a professional, a man who has the potential to become president of the United States, the fact is that when men realize their potential, they realize that they also have the potential to get better, hotter, younger chicks. So if you want a man who's going to marry you and stay with you forever, marry a man who doesn't have potential. And then he will. All the guys you sniff at, ladies, these are the guys who'll stay with you forever. The gas station attendants, the house painters, the perennially unemployed, they will stay with you. There are no trophy wives for plumbers. Plumbers have reached their potential. They've maxed it out. They pretty much know what they're going to get. Now, before you say I'm being unfair about plumbers, the plumbing industry has made this really clear with a local commercial running here in Los Angeles. Mike Diamond Plumbing promises that they will get you a plumber on time and he will smell good. That's how low the plumbing industry is. And that is how low the regard for the plumbing industry is. We think they're a bunch of smelly, sloppy, late guys. That's what we think they are. Why don't you marry a plumber? You think that guy's getting a trophy wife? Forget about it. You know, it's amazing. Women want to marry the richest, most successful guy they can get with the most potential. Then when the guy uses his potential to become even richer and more successful and finds out that being richer and successful means he has the potential to get better chicks, suddenly she's hurt and horrified by the whole thing. Maybe you should have learned something from Olivia Goldsmith and this book. Not what she wanted you to learn, which is that you should exact revenge on a guy who does this. Maybe you shouldn't have gone after a guy with potential. Maybe the guy you went to school with who works in the auto parts store who always had a thing for you, maybe you shouldn't have turned your nose up at him. Maybe you should have married him. Can I tell you something? I want to be honest with you. I grew up in a lower middle class area after my family left the Bronx. My parents bought a house in, like, one of the lowest income areas of Long Island and bought their $14,000 dream home when I was 11 years old. And we moved to a school district with the lowest literacy rate and among the lowest per capita income on all of Long Island, the suburb east of New York City. And I talked about this. We are always getting notices about the upcoming high school reunion. And in advance of the high school reunion, I am constantly looking at the website of my high school and the people who set up these reunions every few years. And a lot of these people who still live near where we all went to school, they still get together for picnics in the summertime. They still get together for various events or dinners or what have you, softball games. And you see pictures of these people. Some of them have been married since shortly after we all graduated high school, and they're still together. And do you know why they're still together? Because many of these guys had no potential whatsoever. I went to a high school where they had not admitted any student to a major university from the time the school had opened 13 years before I graduated. Not one. I was the first student to go to a major university. 13 years. They had put plenty of bricklayers through school, plenty of plumbers, plenty of carpenters, and there's nothing wrong with those gigs.
All I'm telling you is that there's no trophy wives for carpenters. They don't have trophy wives. They don't. The problem with women who get burned by guys who dump them for trophy wives is that these women are constantly on the make for guys who are moving up. And guys who move up, guys who are always getting new cars, new houses, moving to new zip codes, new jobs, new titles, they also move up in the wife category. You don't want to be with a guy with potential. You want to be with a guy who's already achieved whatever he's going to achieve, and that's it. True, you won't be going to the south of France on vacation, but if your real concern is being supplanted by a younger, hotter model, the best way to do this is maybe to go back to your high school reunion and meet one of those guys that you walked away from. It always amazes me how I look at the pictures of all the people I went to high school, how many of them are still together and still know each other. But that's because I went to school with a bunch of illiterate losers who weren't going to go any further than being cashiers at the local Walmart. This is as far as they were going to go. Or they were going to become gas station attendants, or they were going to work at an auto parts store. They were going to become, hey, this will take you back if you ever lived on the East Coast. They're going to become like a manager of the local Friendly's restaurant. Remember Friendly's? I know you do, Dean, being from Pennsylvania. Friendly's is kind of a coffee shop, kind of like Winchell's Donuts, except they had ice cream. You go in there, you sit at the counter, you order like a 3-pound sundae with like half a gallon of ice cream and like half a gallon of hot fudge on it. And then you sit there morphing into the 275-pound giant you're going to become. There's no trophy wives for people like that. If you want to be with somebody who's not going to leave you for a trophy wife, maybe it's the guys you're picking. Maybe you ladies need to stop going after guys with potential. The quote in this obituary for Olivia Goldsmith goes on to say, we're expected to have jobs now. We're expected to raise the family. We're expected to be responsible for the home. And we have to have thin thighs. Nobody can do it. Unbelievable. And listen to this. Delicious irony. Delicious irony. Her agent, Nicholas Ellison, said Goldsmith had been in a coma since she suffered a heart attack January 7th as she underwent anesthesia for a procedure to remove some loose skin from her chin. Dear, in your obsession with competing with the younger models, with the trophy wives, you died. You're dead. It's unbelievable. Think I'm being unreasonable here?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I've got 10 rules for the net, Tom. I'm not going to name them all, but number one and most importantly is get a pick.
The Tom Leykis Show.
That's it, Paul, on the Tom Leykis Show.
Yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Great.
I was just floored by all that you said about your past, as all the people you went to school with, and I mean, you just put yourself on such a pedestal.
I'm not on a pedestal. I'm simply saying that the people who do those jobs are not going to leave their wives for younger models, and it's a fact. They don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe you just didn't step back and listen to how arrogant you sounded. I mean, you were...
Pal, if the shoe fits, it sounds to me like maybe it's a little too close to home for you.
No, I have an absolutely beautiful wife, and I'm happy where I'm at, and she's happy where she's at.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about whatever it is you do for a living or whatever your situation is with your high school buddies or whatever.
Well, you know, I only talk to a few of my old high school buddies, but, you know, I mean, I lived in an affluent, rich area when I grew up, but I wasn't one of those rich people. But I've, you know, certainly passed a lot of them up on my way.
What do you mean you passed a lot of them up on your way? You're successful financially, you mean?
Yeah.
All right. So, what was wrong with what I said?
Well, you just basically, I mean, just the way you belittle everyone else. You know?
I made a point of saying I'm not belittling them. I'm simply saying that because they don't have further potential, they're not likely to get trophy wives.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the whole carpenter-plumber thing because I don't know what your plumber charges you, but...
Whatever my plumber charges me, let me tell you something. These days, most plumbers work for a plumbing company that's owned by somebody else. And so when I get a bill, usually paid with my Visa or MasterCard, it's just like there's a company that acts like the pimp that takes the money and then pays a percentage of it out to the guy who did the actual work.
Well, that's certainly a fact.
Then they buy radio commercials saying that their plumbers don't stink.
Yeah.
You see? I mean, you haven't heard these commercials in Los Angeles. They're running on the air. I am amazed that plumbers haven't been up in arms about this. It implies that there's been some ongoing perception that plumbers stink.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It's not me who made that up. It's Mike Diamond Plumbing. It's an actual plumbing company, and I'm sure they're thrilled that I'm mentioning them today for their commercial. But in reality, all they're telling us is how little they think people think of the plumbing business.
So you're saying the plumbers that don't work for them are probably going to sue them for belittling them?
I don't know if they're going to sue them. I'm not talking about lawsuits here. All I'm talking about is that's how little they think of their own industry.
Yeah, well...
And of themselves. And the bottom line is that it doesn't matter what I say about this. That's what they're saying about themselves.
Well, it's a shame. I mean, they're absolutely necessary to have them.
Yes, but how many women, go out to bars? I mean, you think I'm being arrogant. I'm just telling the truth. How many women go out to bars and start going to bars where they're going to find, the guys just started out at the law firm, the guys just opened their plastic surgery practice, the guys who play golf at the country club, and they start asking these guys where they live and trying to figure out how much they make, but what kind of cars they drive and stuff like that. And so they marry the up-and-coming doctor, the up-and-coming lawyer, the up-and-coming plastic surgeon. Then later on, when this guy's making, 7 figures, they get all upset because this guy who had potential suddenly dumped them for a younger model. Well, if they had dated the plumber, the carpenter, the guy they turned their nose up at in high school, they'd still be with him today. They wouldn't have this problem.
Well, I'm just glad that those successful people have cleared the way for the real women that are out there, I guess.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want a shallow bitch like that. I mean, not unless it's for one night, but, if they're that way, then they need to go to that guy, and they need to get treated like for the rest of their lives.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make here. That's the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make here is not that I'm better than a plumber. The point I'm making here is that it's women who turn their noses up at guys who have day-to-day jobs where they have to go in and work hard and answer to the boss. They want guys with quote-unquote potential. They want guys with degrees. They want guys who drive the right cars, who live in the right zip codes. Well, guys who are on the move, guys who have potential, the kind of guys you meet in bars that pick you up when you're young, these are the guys who have the potential to dump you for a younger model later on, and women can't see that.
No, and then there's the guys that...
And I don't feel sorry for the Olivia Goldsmiths of the world. You know why? They made their own bed. Now they're lying in it. Rest in peace, Olivia.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Joy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
All right, Joy.
Well, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I was just basically agreeing with you. If you date a blue-collar guy, and then suddenly he makes it big, don't expect, and you want to drop him for more big time, big income or whatever type of guy. Don't expect him to want you back. I was agreeing with you when you talked to the previous caller.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, say, the person I'm with now, I married him because I knew up front what I was getting into, and if he makes it big, like say if I want to jump in for another guy, there's no need of me to go back to him, because that's just like saying I didn't love you, whatever, from the beginning, or it wasn't real. Put it that way, it wasn't real. It was just like basically you just with him for the money. I didn't do that. I'm with the person I'm with now because, I'm trying to do something for myself, trying to go to school, trying to work or whatever. And if he makes it big, great. If he don't, I still love him for him. So that's just basically what I want.
Yeah, well, the more potential a man has, the more potential he has to find a trophy wife.
Yes.
That's just a general rule of thumb.
Exactly.
And a lot of women, you know, turn their nose up at the guy who has one of those blue-collar jobs.
Yes,
Oh, but that's, you know what? That's the guy who'll stay with you forever.
Exactly.
You know why? Because he has no choice.
Exactly.
And this is the dirty little secret that we don't want to think about, and that is we are with the best person we can. Men are with the best person they can afford, and women are with the richest man they can attract.
Exactly.
The difference is that women don't get more attractive as they get older, but men do get richer. And so, therefore, the potential for a man moving up and trading up exists if he make more money.
Exactly.
So women should think about this. If you want a man who's going to stay with you forever, maybe you stop dating the lawyers and the doctors, and you start moving your way over to the truck drivers and the gas station attendants.
Exactly. Because, you know, you got to keep that beauty up. You have to keep it up. And it's not going to last so long. So if you're looking for a long term, then you better go with someone more like in your...
If you stick with the guy who manages the mobile station, Habib is going to be there every night at 6 o'clock when dinner is served.
Exactly.
And he's not going to trade up. What's he going to do? Trade up to the hotter chick later on when he owns a second mobile station? Come on.
Okay.
That's the deal.
Okay, so just wanted to give you a little ring.
Thank you, Joy.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the call. It's Brandon on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
Okay, Brandon.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about my father. You know, my mom met him in a bar, and when I was 5.5 months old, he got drunk and stayed drunk, and he skipped town. You know. He's got a dead-end job. He's a self-employed electrician and a complete ass, you know?
Yeah, that's what turns her on.
Yeah, man. I've been listening to you here in Baltimore since about April. And I mean, I love your show, man. I love your show.
Thank you.
You know? And I hope you can stay here in Baltimore. I know they're getting pretty tight about the censorship stuff, but, you know, there's some assholes.
Well, that's true. We just censored that word, too, but what are you going to do? That's the way it is. 1-800-5800, what do you think I am, Bono? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Tiffany on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Tiffany.
I just wanted to say I love you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes. And I also wanted to agree with you on this topic, and it is a general fact that most women... And, yeah, not all, but most women will trade up to a doctor, and most men who are doctors will get a trophy wife. I mean, that's just, you know, that's life. That's how it goes. But I also want to say I think it's effing hilarious that this woman you're talking about, what was her name?
Olivia Goldsmith. She wrote the First Wives Club.
Yes. I think it's so goddamn funny that this woman died on the table and...
She was having one of her chins removed.
I mean, like, I can't get enough of it. I think it's hilarious and completely ironic that her life had to end that way. And
that's right.
And if Frosty, Heidi, and Frank listen to your show, and I know that Frank does, that's the definition of irony, Frank.
There it is, right there.
Write it down, baby.
That's right.
Hey, Tom, take me out of the bong hit, baby.
Here you go, Tiffany.
No cost.
You want hits? Well, Pepsi's got them for you. Friday, January 30th on MTV, Pepsi presents MTV's Super Bowl Friday night, live from Houston, featuring some of the hottest players in the NFL and brand new music from an all-star lineup of acts, hosted by Cedric the Entertainer. And be sure to look for specially marked packages of Pepsi for your chance to win one of 100 million free song downloads. 1 in 3 caps wins. Go to Pepsi.com starting Super Bowl weekend for details. It's the Super Bowl. It's Pepsi. It's the Cola. No purchase necessary. See rules for details. Redeemed by April 30th, 2004. Void where prohibited.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis. Only on Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
Phone number, Olivia Goldsmith, the author of The First Wives Club. Yes, she died of a heart attack after undergoing anesthesia for a procedure to remove loose skin from her chin. How ironic is that, huh? Say hi to Rob on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom!
Hello, Rob.
What's up, baby?
Not much, just the ratings, pal.
All right, man. Hey, look, I can't believe I'm calling in to disagree, but, you know, you read The Millionaire Next Door, you know.
More than once.
Are most likely to find a millionaire by dating a plumber or a contractor.
But they don't know that.
Well, that's true because they don't read.
And in many cases, they met the guy when he was a plumber working for somebody else.
You know, that's true. But, you know, if these guys want to keep their men, I mean, there's 3 simple steps, okay? Keep your weight down, keep your looks up, and don't be a friggin' bitch.
You know, those are 3 very good tips. Don't be a friggin' bitch. Yeah. That word's to live by.
Love you, man.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate the call. By the way, The Millionaire Next Door, a great book. I know most of you don't read books, but if you're going to read one, you're wondering how to become a millionaire if you were not born rich, this is a great book. Highly recommended. And I know the next 3 or 4 days, everyone's going to write, what was the name of that book? I don't remember the name of it. The Millionaire Next Door. It's in every bookstore. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Oscar on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Oscar.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, man, I almost drove off the side of the road when you mentioned that. I was laughing so hard. I got a prejudice against that movie to begin with because one of my ex-girlfriends drugged me to it, and I had to DTB right after that, you know. I couldn't deal with that. Anyway, hey, just quick question. I totally agree with what you're saying as far as, you know, the more the guy makes, he'll get a trophy wife, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Does that apply to foreign chicks? Because I know mostly this chick was a total typical American middle-aged, older chick trying to make herself look younger.
It depends on how Americanized they are.
That's true, I think.
I think if they are from other countries and they stay true to their culture, it's much less likely.
I agree.
But the minute they make friends with all your buddies' wives and they all say, come on, you can take them to the cleaners, and that gets knocked into their head enough times, eventually they become just like the rest.
Yeah, I agree. All right, buddy. Hey, take me out Kobe style.
Here you go, Oscar.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello to Josh on the Tom Leykis Show.
What's up, Tom?
Just the ratings, Josh.
Hey, brother. I just got a couple things to say. Defense of the plumbers from the LA area. There's a good percentage of us that make some big bucks.
Do you stink? But do you stink?
Does money stink?
No. Have you heard this radio commercial from Mike Diamond Plumbing?
Yeah, I actually worked for Mike Diamond for about 6 years.
Did they make you wear cologne or something? What do they do over there?
No, you got to drink some Drano, though. No, but, yeah, that's not a really good... They don't respect their tax, and just a trade. It's like a joke to the managers. But me and a couple of my buddies, we work for another big company in the LA area.
Hey, wait a minute, though. Do you know the radio commercial I'm talking about?
No, I haven't. I've heard you guys talk about it. I remember the old one where they showed a butt crack and...
No. Well, I'm talking about the radio company. They can't show a butt crack in a radio commercial. They guarantee that they'll show up on time and that the plumber will smell good.
Huh.
Now, how do you feel about, as a plumber, how do you feel about that?
Pretty... Well, sorry, Tom.
Can't say that on the air either. Boy, oh boy.
Pretty crappy.
Crappy.
Yeah, but... I don't know. We make money, it's all that matters. Hold on, Tom, 1 second.
Big plumbing emergency over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Tom, 1 second, brother.
All right, Josh. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. 1-800-5800-TOM. Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Tom? How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Mike.
Great. Hey, playing off that, whatever that guy said with the 3 rules, assuming that your person is keeping up their looks, not a bitch, and what was the other one? Doesn't get fat.
Right.
How likely do you think it is that if you got someone like that, you share a lot in common with them, that you might actually stay with them? Assuming
it all depends on how much potential you have. What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm going to be going to law school, so there's my potential.
All right. Well, let's see how you feel about them when you realize
how much better, hotter chicks you can get.
Really? But you don't think there's anything to be said for, assuming maybe you've known someone...
Oh, there's plenty to be said when you're working your way through law school and there's somebody who'll stay there with you, stay up late at night when you're studying.
Yeah.
Go get the groceries, cook your dinner while you're busy cramming for an exam and stuff like that. But later on, when you've got the degree and you've got the law practice and you've got chicks falling all over you, let's see how you feel about her then.
Interesting. We'll have to see then. I just want to tell
remember, right now she's the best you can do.
Well,
what? Another great cell phone experience. What I'm trying to tell him is right now she is the best he can do. And so he loves her very, very much. But down the line, he'll be able to do much better. Will he love her as much when he can do much, much better?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
I wouldn't make that mistake of getting married in the first place, but I might consider it if those wedding vows were to say something to the effect of cook, clean, and swallow.
So you'll be taking your honeymoon in Capistrano?
Not that swallow.
Ah, just checking.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Andrew on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Okay, Andrew.
I'm a first-time caller, and right now I'm in the car with my mom, girlfriend, and a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And we're having a debate whether or not marriage at a young age is okay. And currently I'm with my girlfriend, and I plan on marrying her after college. But I don't want to date other people right now. My mom's saying, absolutely not. Go out and date everyone that you possibly can and get experience, have sex, do drugs. And I don't exactly agree with that. What do you think on that?
I think your mom is a bright woman.
And why is that?
Because you are too young to decide who you're going to be with in the future. Too young.
I'm too young to decide who I want to... What's the right age then?
No earlier than 25.
Okay. Okay, I was just wondering because I can't see why if I'm happy with who I am right now.
Yeah, because you're 18. Whatever you're happy with right now will change by the time you're 25.
So can't I just stay with what I'm happy with right now until that changes?
Well, you could, but the fact is you're doing the best you can do right now. You could do much better, but you don't know it yet. And also, you haven't had the success you're going to have down the line. Later on, you'll regret not doing what I'm telling you and what your mom is telling you.
Okay.
I mean, you're laughing at me, but I'm telling you, Andrew, I got married at 18. I know what it's like.
I'm not saying I want to get married now. I'm saying I just don't want to date other people right now. I want to just...
You already know you want to marry your girlfriend.
What's that?
You already know you want to marry your girlfriend after college.
Yeah, exactly.
You've already decided.
But I want to wait and just... Cause I mean,
wait for what? What are you waiting for? You've already decided.
Because I can't get married in college because it's not just like...
That's my point, though. You've already decided who you want to marry.
Okay.
So it really doesn't matter if you wait or you don't.
And so you're saying that was a bad decision to decide that?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
And your mom agrees with me, doesn't she?
She does, absolutely.
She's right.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, you'll do whatever you want, won't you?
Exactly.
And you will stay with this chick. And
otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, and you are pussy whipped.
Okay.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah, you can say, if you want to call it that. Then
that's what it is. And let me take another guess. Your mom and dad are divorced.
Kind of.
Not kind of.
My mom remarried, and then...
That's called divorce, son.
Yeah, okay.
Or are you telling me your mom and dad were never married?
My biological father died when I was 2, yeah.
Okay. And the result of growing up essentially without your own father is that you're a pussy. Your mom has more balls than you do.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Yeah, you see, of course I'm right.
All right.
And now, because you are used to being dominated and domineered by women, you've decided at a young age that you've got somebody right now who you want to dominate you for the rest of your life.
Not necessarily, no.
You already told me you want to marry her.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I want to be dominated. I don't know where you can't say who's the head of the relationship for being dominated.
I believe me, she's got you corralled. She's already got you talked into marriage. She wears the pants in that relationship.
All righty.
And you carry the purse with your balls in it. Yeah, you're laughing. It's truer than you'll ever